All right, we have live video. Except I don't hear you. Still don't hear Pod Feet.
Now you can hear me.
There we go.
Why am I hearing you twice?
Because you're listening to me in Discord and you're listening to me in...
That's right. You know, I could set... What happens if I... No, I need to keep that one going, I think. I usually turn your voice off or turn off my audio listening in Discord.
That's what I do, yeah. That's why I couldn't hear you, because you were off Discord form, yeah.
Okay. I have to mute Discord so I don't hear everything twice. Yes, Sandy, that's exactly what we're doing right now. I can get it 3 times, though, because I've got Steve on 2 different Mimo Live things. Oh, maybe Mimo Live will come up now.
Oh, the clock is totally mispositioned.
What happened?
There we go. Well,
we had worked on that, right?
Camera a little bit. There we go.
I haven't touched the camera.
It looks a little lower. Your anteaters are
okay,
showing.
No Mimo Live hosts.
Say again?
Trying to get the control panel working on... it's switched to Tall Dart. There we go. Aren't you useful? Okay, I don't want to be on Tall Dart. I want to be on Nighthawk. Okay, now I should be able to get a Mimo Live session. There we go. Steve's 2017 iMac. Wingman and Lady. I'm just Lady now.
I think he meant Wing Lady.
Lady. Lady. All right, let me test muting Steve. Talk to me, Steve.
Well, you're muting me. How's that work?
There, you're back. And let's see. So if I do this, I get rid of Steve.
No.
I can turn the clock on for no reason. Okay, there we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the show, the big show. We've got Kevin and I don't know if Big Chad. It's hard to tell who's actually here anymore. He says no,
I think
just
it's everyone
Lady.
Everyone with a green dot is actually logged in. They may not be at the terminal.
Jedi KV is always showing there, and we haven't seen whoever they are in a long time. Jino Choi is here. I bet John is here, but not Nuclear John. And Rose and Rick and Sandy, and somebody's in as a Titan bot.
No, Nuclear John just popped in.
Oh, he did. Nuclear John is here. All right, NTJ. And for some reason, Stephen Getz is talking to me in Telegram.
Is he going to join us in Discord?
No, he never does.
Now that hoser.
All right. I better quit that so I don't keep talking to him. All right. Why did our front door just lock?
I don't know. Tesla?
Why doesn't my keyboard work without a cable right now, guys? That is not good.
Maybe
I would like to know why.
Powered?
Yeah, but I had it plugged in for most of the day because it was misbehaving earlier, and now as soon as I unplug it, it stops working.
That's not good.
Well, no, it isn't good at all. I'm not enjoying that one little bit. Oh, Dorothy's here. She hasn't been in chat for a while.
Hello, Dorothy. Welcome.
Hey, Dorothy, are you going to visit us are you going to come to the live chat when you're on your little vacation? All right, I'm going to try a little recording, see how we're going here. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. All right, tell me if you guys can hear this. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com.
We're good.
All right. Good.
The camera is
okay.
a touch low.
Okay, now the clock's going to be all messed up. Okay. I swear.
Bane of my existence. There, good.
I think it's... Well, but then I lean back. Isn't that too high?
Maybe a touch. Okay, go back a little. Maybe you need a nice little...
I think the... hang
Whoa!
on.
You're making me sick, Podfeet.
Get your panties in a bunch. There.
Now it's too low.
Okay. But I clamped it a little tighter, so it's not... It should stay when I... Just hush up till I get it. Okay. How's that?
I can live with it.
Just some of my hair. Steve, why are you wearing those goofy headphones? Put on your good ones.
So
you don't like your good ones?
Well, they're kind of big.
Yeah, but this is the only thing they're good for. We should give them away to somebody if you're not going to wear them.
All right, I'll put them on.
At some point, I have to review those headphones and explain why I'm not wearing them. It's so sad. No, got left, now right, no more, now left again. Thanks, John. All right. Well, I might start recording here pretty soon, Steve.
These are a lot quieter.
I know. They're fabulous, aren't they?
No, I mean the volume. I have to crank up the volume.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Maybe that's why you're always saying I'm yelling, is because you had those cruddy headphones on before. All right. I think I'm going to mute you and I'm going to start recording. Goodbye. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, June 3rd, 2018, and this is show number 682. Well, tomorrow is WWDC keynote day, and since Denise Crown asked us, we will be opening up the doors to the live chat room so we can all yak together about what we hear. Technically, the doors are always open, but if you could want to join us, you could go at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, June 4th, to have a party no matter what they say during the keynote. Anyway, you can find the chat room at podfeet.com/live. This link will invite you into our... It's the wrong link. And I read what I see. It's supposed to be chat. And, Hang on.
What?
Just got to start over. There's no mistake. It's weird. I just read it wrong. There was nothing wrong. Oh, I should save at some point. Do you know last week I had to yell save it myself? It was horrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
It was. Kevin wasn't here. Nobody was here. Sandy wasn't here. Rose wasn't here.
I thought TJ was doing a little saving.
I wasn't in. We didn't do the live show. Remember, I recorded right. On Tuesday.
Gotcha.
So you're just making up things now.
TJ was there in spirit.
Need more Steve, don't save. That's nice. All right. I think I have that intro music a little low. All right. Here we go. One more time. Nope. Apparently not one more time. There we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, June 3rd, 2018, and this is show number 682. Well, tomorrow is WWDC keynote day, and since Denise Crown specifically asked us, we will be opening up the doors to the live chat room so we can all yak together about whatever we hear in the keynote. Now, I know technically the doors are always open in our chat room, but we will be in there if you join us at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, June 4th, and we'll just go have a party no matter what the announcements are. You can find the chat room at podfeet.com/chat. If you go to that link, it will invite you into our Discord chat room. If for some reason you don't want to install Discord or join Discord, you can always come into the chat room via the web interface at podfeet.com/live. I think you're anonymous that way. You end up as a chat bot, a thing called Titan bot, but you can still play if you want to do that. Now, remember, there won't be any live video at podfeet.com/live of me or Steve. Sorry, Kevin. It'll just be the chat for this event will be live on that page. So I really hope you guys will come. It would be really fun. Well, we're getting down to last call on MacStock Expo I got that almost right, MacStock Expo in Chicago the weekend of July 21st. If you haven't already booked your tickets, why haven't you is really my question. It's not that expensive for what you get. It's $249 for a full weekend of amazing presentations with amazing people, and you even get fed during the day for that. Now, if that's still too expensive, how about applying coupon code PODFEET, all capital letters, and that'll get you $70 off the price. That makes the price as inexpensive as the early bird special that they had earlier in the year. I got to tell you, a lot of the live chat room folks are going, and I would love to meet any of you who can make the trip. So go check it out at max.conferenceandexpo.com. Well, Bart is back with Programming by Stealth, episode number 55 in Chit Chat Across the Pond, where we start to dig into the content part of Bootstrap. Content is not really content. It's just how Bootstrap styles things such as headers, tables, and more. It's great fun as we learn how to style our recipes. I'm making popcorn. Anyway, I hope you go check it out in your podcatcher of choice in either the full Chit Chat Across the Pond feed or the Programming by Stealth feed. And of course, you can also find it at podfeed.com. There we go. That was a fun episode.
Bootstrap.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. All right. So I'm going to talk.
The name of the character in Pirates of the Caribbean, wasn't it? It's the father of
yeah. What was it?
Orlando Bloom.
Is it Bootstrap?
Bootstrap John or something like that. I'm sure someone in the chat room will know this. He was part of the ship. He became part of the ship.
Yeah. It was. What was it?
Bootstrap.
Tiny tip.
I think it had alliteration, so Bootstrap Bob or Bootstrap Bruce. I don't know. Bruce just doesn't sound right. He's the shark on Little Mermaid.
Somebody help us out here.
Come on, who knows about Bootstrap?
It was something like Bootstrap. All right. I am going to do a review of my own that I did not read last week. This is such cool software. What is it?
Is this what I think it is?
No.
Oh.
It's mine.
That's what I mean.
This is Vectornator.
Vectornator, that's it.
Oh, you're excited about Vectornator? I thought you were excited about your own review.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh.
Are you going to read the whole thing?
No, I just thought I'd read half of it, just dribble out.
It's not pre-recorded.
Kevin's lost. Somebody look it up.
Oh, you're going to force me to
open up a Google's. All right. Muting Steve. Finding the thing. Bootstrap Bill Turner. There it is. Thank you, John.
Told you there was some alliteration.
Oh, go away again. Fortunately, he can unmute himself. Here we go. You've probably figured out by now that I am not an artist. That doesn't keep me from being interested in applications to create art and to appreciate those who use them well. I used to think all digital art was created using pixel-based drawing and painting apps. Turns out that amazing art can be created using vector design programs. I bought Affinity Designer, which is a vector app from the same people who brought us Affinity Photo. I joined a Facebook group for Affinity Designer, and I have been absolutely amazed at what these people can do. I had no idea everything from cartoons to paintings could be created all with vectors. Now, I've been happy to use Affinity Designer to create such masterpieces as the Security Bits, Tiny Tip, and Question Corner logos. Yeah, go back and read my opening statement about my artistic talent. Anyway, I've been tempted to do a full-scale, deep dive review of Affinity Designer for the podcast and maybe a tutorial for Screencasts Online, but after my best efforts, I've only scraped the top surface of what it can do. I even bought the book on Affinity Designer and started working through the lessons, but much of it was just way beyond my skill set, so I don't really think I can do Affinity Designer justice. Now, while Affinity Designer is quite moderately priced for a pro app at $50, for some, even that price is too high. It's also only available for the Mac and Windows and not for iOS. I've been really itching to use my Apple Pencil with a vector design program on the iPad Pro. Well, enter Vectornator Pro, a vector design application for iPhone and iPad at vectornator.io. You know what I always say? It seems like the coolest stuff is over at the .io domains, and this is not an exception. Now, if you're an Affinity Designer Pro, I'm sure you would find that Vectornator Pro is not nearly as capable as Affinity Designer. But let's take a look at what it can do and see if it could meet your needs. It used to cost $7.99, but for some unknown reason, it is now free. I've written to the developers, and the lead developer is a young man who's like, I think he's 18, but he started this when he was 16. And their answer was, we want everybody to create really cool looking stuff, so we made it free. I don't understand how that's sustainable, but that's the answer they gave me when I asked what their business model was. Well, one of the reasons I like Vectornator is that I was able to figure out how to use it without reading the manual. But eventually I had some questions and I went hunting for the manual. I didn't actually find one on their website. They've got 2 short video tutorials you can access from within the app, which actually did explain the 2 things I was confused about. I searched their website and I found a link to their blog, which is on Medium for some reason. It's medium.com/Vectornator. So they don't have their blog on their own website. Anyway, I started reading some of the blog posts and I eventually stumbled across a post in April where they linked to the double secret manual. I'll save you some hunting and post a link to the Vectornator Pro manual in the show notes. Okay, that said pot to link. Post. Remember to push this back up when I'm done. Okay. I said up front that Vectornator runs on both iPad and iPhone, but I'm going to concentrate this conversation about it mostly on how it works on iPad. It does have great support for Apple Pencil, but having a pencil and having an iPad Pro is definitely not a requirement. If you're skilled with your finger, I got to tell you, more power to you, but you might want to use a stylus of some sort on your iPad. Now I'm going to describe Vectornator, assuming you have never used a vector design program before. And my descriptions will probably entertain the real vector designers amongst us. I'm looking at you, Alistair. Well, just to make you feel bad about your skills, Vectornator opens to the gallery showing 5 amazing drawings done with the app. But we're just not going to look at those. We're just going to move right along. When you hit the New Document button, you've got a ton of options. Vectornator invites you to open existing documents through integration with cloud services via the iOS Files app. It also integrates with Creative Cloud for Adobe folks, and it integrates with Apple Photos. You can create new documents with standard screen sizes like 1024 by 768 all the way up to Ultra HD, but it also has screen sizes of all of the Apple iOS devices from the iPhone 5 size up to the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. I think it shows an attention to developers and designers of iOS apps. The left sidebar has all of the tools. You can start with some standard geometry like rectangles and ovals, or get fancier with polygons and stars. After you click and drag to draw in a shape, you will immediately get a pop-up on the bottom of the screen with a slider. Rectangles automatically come with rounded corners, and you get a slider to change the radius to your liking. The star has a slider for how many points you'd like, and the polygon for the number of sides. Now, without a shift key on iOS, it wasn't obvious to me how to draw circles and squares instead of ovals and rectangles. The first video tutorial explained how to achieve this objective. Touch the screen with one finger and start to drag, then touch the screen with a second finger. As you continue to move your first finger to draw your shape, it will stay as a square or a circle. Now, this is a little tricky because 2 fingers on screen are also used to pan the canvas around. The difference is all in the timing. 2 fingers starting at the same time are to pan. 1 finger with a slight drag and only then adding the second finger gives you the control of a shift key. Well, the video explains that you could also attach an external keyboard to your iOS device. But note that the Apple Smart Keyboard shift key does not work to make squares and circles, so it must be Bluetooth keyboards that do that. While we're on the subject of missing keys, another one you might want is the Alt key. If you had an Alt key, selecting an object and dragging would let you duplicate the object. The workaround for the missing Alt key is very different from the Shift key solution. In the upper left of the canvas area, written in very dim gray is the word Alt with the little Alt key icon. To use it, select an object, tap Alt once, and then drag your object. It will automatically be duplicated. You can drag again to duplicate a second time, because the Alt key stays held down until you tap it again to release it. If you're like me, you'll forget to tap Alt when you're done and accidentally duplicate your object again, then tap the Undo button. That's the way I do it anyway. If this sounds too tricky, you can select your objects and tap on the Edit menu and select Duplicate. Well, Vectornator at first starts Phil's object. That doesn't make any sense. If this sounds too tricky, you can play around for a minute here, Steve. I'm going to take a little break
here. So Frank is asking, what are you reviewing? He just popped in. Can you give him a one-liner?
Oh, yeah. Sandy said Vectornator. Vectornator Pro from vectornator.io.
But what does it do?
It's a vector design program.
Like Pixelmator?
No.
Like
Pixelmator is a pixel
what am I thinking
editor.
of?
Affinity Designer.
Yes, Affinity Designer, right. Have you saved lately?
First.
Kevin's giving you a lot of reminders. Maybe it's not time.
It's by filling. Do that. I think I saw another mistake, but it wasn't as bad. What else did I mess up back here? It's funny how quick I'll think, okay, I'll remember that, and then it's gone within 5 seconds. No, I don't know.
Lost control.
You lost control? Steve's out of control.
Trackpad. Did it run out of juice?
Uh-oh. See? There's something wrong in this.
Plug her in, see if I can get it back. I have no... Oh, there it is. Okay, I must have run out of juice.
Maybe... Actually, check and see. I would be very interested. If you click on the battery icon for your... Oh, you may not have a battery icon showing.
Nope.
Do you have the...
I can go into control
menu, whatever it's called. It's called iStat Menus battery.
Yes.
Because that shows your stuff. So my keyboard is at 100%, but if I unplug it, it will stop working. I'll be back.
Trackpad battery 100%. Let me unplug it. 100%.
I wonder. You know what? I wonder if macOS 10.13.4 is that what we just installed? I wonder if it's got a Bluetooth bug.
iOS, yeah, because the Mac.
No. Not
iOS was updated. Mac OS wasn't, was it?
Oh, I thought it was recently.
I think that was iOS 10.4.
Well, I know iOS was. You're right.
Or 11.
11.4. 11. Yeah.
Mac OS was updated.
Mac OS was updated just Friday.
But that's not the big one. That was just a little.
I know, but they still could have screwed up the Bluetooth. So. Pat Dingler's had a world of hurt with her AirPods and other Bluetooth headphones. We've done 45 experiments trying to figure it out.
Not good.
Yeah, turn on messages in the cloud. Tomorrow for the OS. Okay. All right. Muting Steve. Uh-oh. Tessa's in here and she has her collar on. There we go. All right, Flappy Bird. Okay, here we go. Vectorinator at first starts by filling objects with bright turquoise. In the bottom left, there's a bright turquoise circle just begging you to change the color. You really can't miss it. It was so intuitive to think, I wonder how I'll change the color. Oh, look, there's a turquoise button. You absolutely can't miss it. Now, once a color has been chosen, along with the other settings I'm about to describe, the app keeps that color combination until you change it, even across documents. Kind of a nice consistency. Tapping on the fill color, the bright turquoise when you first start, brings up a lot of options. You've got a standard color wheel, plus this kind of square area where you can drag your finger to change opacity from left to right, and the brightness for the color from the top to the bottom. There's an icon in the upper right of this menu to switch from the color wheel to RGB or HSL sliders. There's also a slider for opacity below the two color options, and when you find a color you like, you can add it to your palette of saved colors. Again, in the intuitive sense, they put in blue and red with a bunch of plus signs next to them to give you a hint that you can save colors. That's what I mean about Vectorinator being so easy to learn. There's a switch to simply turn off the fill, or you can add a two-color gradient. You can choose between a linear and radial gradient with a tap of a button. At first, the radial gradient didn't look right because I couldn't see the center, and I didn't see how to modify it. And that's when I figured out you need to tap out of the fill menu that I've been describing. With the shape you're messing around with selected, you'll see two highlighted circles on your shape with a line between them. Dragging these two circles around changes the radius of the gradient just like in any other tool. Finally, in the fill menu, you can blur the whole object with a slider. On iPad, the fill menu takes up a fair amount of screen real estate, so you need to tap away and grab the canvas with two fingers to position your object so you can see it with the fill menu open. On iPhone, the fill menu takes up the entire screen, so you can imagine how much flipping in and out you'd have to do in order to see what you're doing. I'm not at all saying the developer didn't do a great job with the screen real estate they had, but rather that the iPhone might be a bit tedious in which to work. But I'm sure people are going to make amazing art and not listen to me that it's going to be hard. Well, the menu I've been talking about is really more than just fill. At the bottom, you can flip over to stroke and shadow and opacity. I better not go through this in excruciating detail or we will never get to the actual vector part of the program. In short, you can change the color, though, and the width of the stroke around an object and even make it dashed. And if it happens to be a line, you can add arrowheads here and lots more. Vector design programs rely heavily on your ability to control where the center line of the stroke of an object lies. Imagine you're trying to line up two rectangles that had a big, thick line in them. Do you line up the outside or the inside edge of the stroke, or perhaps the middle? You can control where that line is within the strokes menu. Beyond setting the color and angle of a drop shadow, you know how I love me a drop shadow, in the shadow and opacity menu, you can also change the blend mode of the object as it affects the one below it. There are at least a dozen of the usual suspects in there, dark and light and multiply, all of those. Now, I'm a precision person with engineering boringness wired into my DNA, so when I use colors, I like a standard palette where I can pick the same color precisely. But the artsy-fartsy types aren't held to such rigidity. They like to grab a tool, pick a style from something they've already created. Vectornator has those people covered as well. There's a little eyedropper that you can tap around on screen to apply a style from one object to another. And it'll actually grab things like the fill color, the stroke style, the thickness and color, and the gradient. All of that gets picked up with that little eyedropper, I should say. Vectornator employs the touch interface really, really well. Dragging objects around with your fingers is quite natural. One of the joys of working in a vector design program is that you can zoom in as far as you want, and everything scales perfectly with no jagged edges. Doing this with a finger pinch on iPad is natural and quick. Okay, as in you. That's not a real word. As in you.
What were you trying to take?
I don't know.
As in you?
Yeah. Where did it go? Now I can't find it. Where was it? It was ASNYOU. ASNY. As you. I'm sure it was the keyboard's fault.
Do you need a save?
I could. Asimov. Isaac?
Yep.
Oh, here's a fun people like these animated GIF things. Let's see if this works in come on. Oh man. Got a spinning pizza wheel of death on Discord. That's nice.
What did you try to paste in there?
Can you guys still hear me in Discord? Tried to paste a link in there, and now I'm spinning pizza wheeled. I wonder if they can hear me.
Rick says, why?
Why?
Maybe that means yes.
So.
Yes, that is how I'm hearing you. Why?
There
yes,
you go.
He can. There you go.
Did it work?
Well,
good.
I don't see anything moving.
Well, that's annoying.
We can put your screen on. Did you want to show them something on your screen? Or?
Well, it's just there's a cool little animation to go along with what I'm trying to describe here, and it looks like it didn't work.
No,
it's weird. It looks like it got the static image instead of I think it's a GIF or something. Let me see if I copy link. Nope. Oh, I bet I can do it here. Hang on. Here it is. Here, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, show us, Frank. There. See if that works. Nope. I got a quote afterwards. Nope. Still won't work.
Oh, wait.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So I would defy you to say that in words. That is what I'm about to try to do.
I would say that's a clip parabola at a skewed angle being rotated through a skewed plane.
This is what vector drawing is all about.
That is
all right.
Weird.
I'm
all right.
about to mute you.
Mute away.
Freehand drawing with a vector design program is very different from drawing with a pixel editor. With the pen tool in a vector application, you can tap on screen to add a corner point, and multiple taps will create a path with sharp corners. But if you want to draw a curved path, you tap and drag. At each point, you can control the shape of the curve you've drawn. The controls are really difficult to describe and are a little bit hard to wrap your brain around even when you are using them. Every anchor point you drop has or is part of what's called a Bezier curve. The curve is controlled by a line that is tangential to the curve at the point you're editing. The length of that tangential line changes how sharp the curve is, and changing the angle of the line changes the curve shape as well. I told you it was hard to describe. Luckily, I found a great little animated GIF in the Vectorinator blog that is worth 1,000 words, so that's in the show notes if you want to go see what I'm talking about. Well, Vectorinator lets you create shapes using the pen tool. It looks like a fountain pen if you're old enough to know what those are. Once you draw with your coarse shape, you need to switch to the regular cursor arrow to select points and then drag their control lines around to modify the shape to your liking. Yeah, I'm going to make a joke to Marianne for that. Well, Vectorinator lets... there we go. Right.
Do you want to let us in on the joke?
Oh no, I'll just say it. She's a one of those pen fanatics.
Ah.
So I'm gonna.
You gonna just do an insert?
I could say like Marianne. I'm gonna re-record that. Okay, here we go. Vectorinator lets you easily create shapes using the pen tool. It looks like a fountain pen if you're old enough to know what those are, or you're fanatic like Marianne. Once you draw your coarse shape, you need to switch to the regular cursor arrow to select points and then drag those control lines around I talked about to modify the shape to your liking. There's a tool that looks like one of those control lines that has a little plus next to it. By experimentation, I figured out that if you have a control, or they call them anchor points, selected, and you tap on that icon, the anchor point will be deleted. Now, that's a good thing because it's easy to drop too many points, and it's actually easier. It's harder if you have too many points to adjust the shape smoothly if you're like crazy tapping a bunch of dots. Now, I had to watch one of the video tutorials to find out how to add a new anchor point. First, select the entire object by a tap or dragging around it with your finger. Tap that icon. I don't know what it's called. It's this control line with a little plus next to it. And then tap between two anchor points, and it will add a new one. Be sure to tap on another icon to stop adding anchor points when you tap on screen again, or you're going to get really good at that undo button like I am. Well, you can also add anchor points via the menu. It's called Path down in the bottom left. Instead of adding a single point, it basically doubles the number of points by adding one between each of your existing points. I would think this would be an easy way to start smoothing out some curves. In the little I know about vector design, I have learned that designers creating interesting objects use Boolean operations on multiple objects. They join objects together to create one object that's it's either a superset of the objects they had, or they subtract one from another, cutting away part of one, or they take the intersection of the two, or sometimes do the reverse and exclude them, which leaves everything but where they overlap. Of course, Vectorinator supports all of these functions. It's in a kind of an odd menu, in my opinion, though. If you first select more than one object, then the path menu will contain these options. They even support masking of one object from another, which probably means something to designers, but I don't know what it means. You get a little M on masked objects, alerting you to the fact that you can also unmask them later at your pleasure. Now, there aren't a lot of menus in Vectorinator, which is honestly kind of a relief from the complexity of a high-end tool like Affinity Designer. At the top left, there's a dashed rectangle with an X in it, which allows you to deselect objects. Vectorinator supports layers, which is essential in a design tool. Within the Layers menu in the top right, you can drag objects up and down within a layer, lock them, deselect them so they're invisible, and change their opacity, position, size, and rotation. I should mention, there's also a dedicated Rotate tool in the toolbox as well. You can group objects within a layer using the Arrange menu, and grouped objects get a little G on them. Remember, we had an M on our masked objects? Grouped objects get this G, which is a hint that they can be ungrouped later if you so choose. Within Arrange, you can also move objects forward and back, move objects all the way to the back or all the way to the front, flip them horizontally or vertically, and you have pretty much a smorgasbord of options for alignment. Well, the Settings menu has 3 tabs. One to control the canvas with things like grid options, size and color, space. The next is for snapping options. Now, go back to that engineering brain I was talking about earlier, and you know that I love to be able to turn on snap to edges and points and turn on the grid and see rulers. You know, that's kind of the way it was intended in life, not this artsy-fartsy stuff. Anyway, there's even a smart guides you can turn on that makes it much easier to be precise. In the third tab, you can connect a Wacom stylus. You can also tell Vectornator to only accept drawing input from your Apple Pencil. I think it's nice to be able to swap back and forth between pencil and finger, but it's good that the option exists. I should have mentioned it earlier, but Vectornator supports slide over and split screen on iPad. This feature allowed me to write most of this review and keep it in a small column to the right of Vectornator and still be able to test out the features of the app. I did it all on an airplane. It was fantastic. Having that slide over really, really helps. Well, let's talk bottom line. If you've wanted to learn to use a vector program, but you were daunted by the pro-level apps, the free Vectornator Pro for iOS might be just enough for you. Having it on the iPad with pencil support and having it for free makes it an amazing combination. I'm sure now I'll be able to create great art.
Whew.
I'm done working for the rest of this. That's finally the bottom line. It's a cool program, though.
You liked it.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. It's exactly what I wanted.
You may have said this. Is that the one you're doing for Dawn?
I am not doing it right now, but I will be.
Cool.
Shoot, I was afraid of that. I think ASN.
No, I think you're getting a big save reminder from Kevin.
Am I? Oh, I should do that. Okay, I think this needs to send a blog. That's what I need to fix. I hope that's right. Chapter markers. I would have forgotten that. Plus, what a great name. Vectornator.
Vectornator. Sounds like something out of the Terminator series.
Yeah, somebody said a good pun on that. All right, where are we? Is it time for Steve yet? Nope.
No.
Not time for Steve yet. Next is a tiny tip. I have music for that, don't I?
You do. Is this from Rick from Baltimore?
It is. Rick from Baltimore is really cool. His name is actually Rick Abraham. He signed this with Rick from Baltimore, but he also posted about it in other places. Like he put it in the Mac Geek Gab forum, actually. Okay, let's go find Rick.
I had to get my light to come on.
Uh-oh. You don't have an automated thing on that yet?
Not to keep it on.
You should spend 6 or 7 hours trying to do that.
Is that what you did?
No, that's everything we do with the home automation is
True.
6 or 7 hours. All right, let's hear this. You can stay live, though. Come on. I'll be able to create great art.
Hi, Allison. I wanted
Too soon. Also too quiet.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Who picked that music?
You did. No,
Actually,
I did.
I gave you like 5 jingles and you picked it.
Yeah.
Hi, Allison. I wanted to share a quick iOS tip that solved 2 problems for me. Problem 1. I want to...
He didn't say his name. All right. I'm going to have to cue it up before the music. Or should I do it after the music? Steve, you're in charge of music.
Say again, what's your question?
You're not
so
paying
John's
any
asking an
attention.
important question about Chicago pizza.
About pizza. Yeah, but you don't know the answer to that question.
No,
so
we
answer
do,
my
because
question.
Dean and Suzanne took us to that great pizza place in Chicago.
Okay.
But we can do that later. What's your question?
Yeah, you're right. They did, but you don't know the answer to the question.
No, I don't.
So I need to introduce Rick. Should I say it after the Tiny Tip music or before? Probably after.
Yeah.
You aren't listening.
Yeah. Oh,
You are
yeah.
literally still not listening.
Go ahead.
Okay, but you care about this stuff. What do you,
Well,
making me cry.
ask your question. I'm listening. You got me. For
I've
3
asked
seconds.
you
3 seconds.
twice.
One more time.
Nope. Great
All right, Chairman.
art.
What'd she say?
next up, we've got a tiny tip from Rick from Baltimore. Okay. Why is that still not?
That was perfect.
Good.
Just what I would have done.
Okay, great. I'm so glad. Let's see. Well, next up, we've got a tiny tip from Rick from Baltimore.
Hi, Allison.
Hey, there's no chapter mark in here.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure he told me to, but I didn't listen.
I'm going to ask Dean real quick what that pizza place was he took us to.
I know you are. I knew you were going to do it. That was when we went to the parade, right?
Yeah. That was for when the Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. They had a big old parade. That was cool. Colored the
that was
river
very
green.
cool.
No,
they did not.
No, that was.
Are you just making stuff
no,
up?
I'm thinking of the other event.
What? He's just making stuff up, guys.
That's St. Patty's Day.
Okay.
I wanted to share a quick iOS tip that solved two problems for me.
This is actually a very, very cool tip, but I'm going to make you guys play the podcast. Oh, okay. I wrote some stuff after back in here. Where is it? Tiny tip. There it is. Oh, and Sandy helped me out with this too. Oh, no.
What?
Oh, I screwed up the...
What?
I screwed up the quote.
The
Hang
quote?
On. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, that is not good. Hang on. I'm messing things up. Right and left. My HTML is showing.
Oh, that's unsightly.
Oh,
Put it away.
This isn't good at all. I've made it worse.
Your HTML is showing.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Okay.
Did you do an
That's
edit?
what I
An
do.
accidental edit?
No, it's hard. Okay, that should be there. Well, how about if I cut that and I put that there? Why is it? Ah!
You okay?
It isn't my fault. It's screwing it up itself. Okay, there we go. There we go. My more tag broke the HTML.
Of course.
What is he? TJ, what are you doing now? Regional indicator. TJ's just off on his own little world there today.
He's got his nice little blue font going on there.
Yeah, that's cool. He's always got some cool thing going. Okay, now I can get to what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Muting Steve.
Experiencing the same problems I needed to solve.
Man, this is such a great tip. I love this, Rick. I need to add a couple more details to the instructions he gave us, though. First, go into Settings, General, Accessibility, and then turn on Reduce White Point. When you're in that menu, move the slider to a comfortable level for you, like Rick suggests, 50%. I want you to note that the higher the percentage, the more the white point is reduced, so a higher number makes the screen get darker. Now, at that point, now you've turned that on as a feature, back out one step into accessibility, scroll to the bottom, and go into the accessibility shortcut. From there, select magnifier and reduce white point. That's how you get both of those available when you do the triple click home button. Or if you've got an iPhone 10, you can triple click on the side button. When you do that, you'll see both of these options and be able to choose the one you need. Now, I think we've talked about magnifier before, but this is it's a great way to read a MAC address off the bottom of a router when that nice lady at your ISP asks you for it, right? Or menus. Sometimes they're really hard to read, okay? Sometimes it's dark and you can't read them, so the magnifier totally helps. All right. Not because I'm old. What is TJ talking about? What is this regional indicator thing? Oh, I got to give Steve voice.
Yeah, that is the code that allows him to do the special font with the blue background. So he wants you to try it, just copy and paste. He's just showing you how to do it, how to execute it yourself if you want to.
So, oh, gee. Oh, I see. Colon regional indicator underscore S makes that S.
Right.
Regional. Oh, wow. That's a lot of work. I suppose you could make a text expander snippet.
Now, do you have your chapter marker in there and saving?
I don't. Well, there's nothing really important. It's just your reviews next, right?
Ah, now you're not going to play that whole thing. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah. Don't you want everybody to hear it?
It's a long. How are you doing on time? 5:44.
And
then
well, I just do it till I'm bored.
First minute. Oh.
Kevin wants to hear it.
So
did Al say you can copy and paste layers from the example documents on homepage to your own new document? No, I did not. I did not see that. Okay, so this is, I got to do a chapter marker. Okay, what just happened? It's not what I meant to do. Okay, we're done with Rick. It's scrolling weird. Come on, slow down. Okay, back here. And we need to do the Apple Heart Study. I'm going to go here, enter Apple Heart Study. That's the title. And copy the link. There we go. Okay, now it's in there. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to Steve for a few minutes. So the magnifier totally helps.
I received an email from Apple inviting me to participate in the Apple Heart Study. I got interested in the program, so I read up about it and decided to download the app and sign up for the study. Here are the questions I had about the program, which Apple answered quite well in their documentation. First, what is Apple's goal with this study? Apple is attempting to improve the technology used to identify irregular heart rhythm known as arrhythmia. The Apple Heart Study uses data from the Apple Watch to identify irregular heart rhythms, including those from potentially serious heart conditions such as atrial fibrillation or AFib. The study is being conducted in collaboration with Stanford Medicine to accelerate discovery in heart science. The more people who participate in the study, the more statistics that can be gathered and the greater the potential benefit to the community at large. So Apple is inviting all watch owners, that is Series 1 and up, to join the study. So what are the requirements to participate in the study? Well, Apple requires an Apple Watch Series 1, that's the fall 2016 model or later, with Watch OS 4 and later. The Apple Heart Study does not support the original Apple Watch. It also requires an iPhone 5S or later running iOS 11 or later. You must be a U.S. resident, 22 years or older, and meet other study eligibility criteria as described in the Apple Heart Study app. Also, you must provide your consent to participate in the study. There are also some personal health requirements to participate in the study. Your heart must be generally healthy, that is, you don't have a history of heart rhythm irregularities, and you're not taking medications to treat any heart conditions. So why would you want to participate in the study? Well, there are two reasons why you might want to join the Apple Heart Study. The first is for the greater good. Your heart data will be merged in with all of the other participants to help Stanford Medicine develop a statistical database that will help researchers improve their knowledge of heart science. Early diagnosis and treatment of irregular heart rhythms may prevent serious health issues. But if contributing to a group at large doesn't interest you, or even if it does, there's a more personal reason to join the study. The app will passively monitor your heart rate along with your heart rhythm. If an irregular heart rhythm is observed, the app will notify you directly. After the notification, you'll receive an offer to have a free voice or video consultation on your iPhone with the study's medical professionals for further analysis. The video consultation connects you with a board-certified licensed primary care provider from American Well, who is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The doctor will make an assessment as part of the study and recommend next steps. In some cases, the doctor may recommend a biotelemetry electrocardiogram patch for additional monitoring. The patch will be mailed to you at no cost and should be worn for 7 days. The ECG data gathered over this period will be used to determine whether AFib or another type of irregular heart rhythm is present. It's important to note that the Heart Study app does not provide you data on your heart health or heart rhythm unless it detects a problem. Only if a problem is detected will you get feedback in the form of a notification and an offer to consult with a doctor. The app's primary purpose is to feed your heart rhythm data into Stanford's statistical database, not to give you real-time feedback on your heart condition. The only data the app provides you on a continual basis is the number of times it has contributed your rhythm data to the study and the number of days you've participated in the study. Apple makes it clear that this study is not a substitute for medical advice you might get from your doctor or another healthcare provider on your health status. They recommend that you should continue to see your regular doctor and keep any scheduled physical exams, cardiac screening procedures, and medical appointments. Now, an important question that many of you may be asking is, should you be concerned about the privacy of your heart and health data and how it's used? Remember, this is Apple who is running the study, and they have consistently demonstrated how important they believe it is for users to be able to keep their data private and secure. Of course, we are talking about health data here, which is particularly sensitive to most users. Now, Apple has partnered.
Okay. Good job, Steve. The reason I left was because my unbelievable, my 9 billion milliamp hour battery pack that was powering my iPad, which had lost all its battery power, died.
Is that
and it won't work plugged into my Mac.
Was that iPad having trouble, or was it your keyboard?
Oh, both.
Oh,
both. I mean, the iPad the battery was dead. That's all, but it wasn't charging.
Are these
unrelated problems?
And your keyboard's wireless, right?
Well, not right now.
Okay.
All right.
Chapter mark.
I'm going to make a remark and then I'll come back because it's going to be Patreon.
It's going to be snide?
No, it's going to be nice.
Right for you. Otherwise, move along. This isn't the app you're looking for.
Well, this is definitely the kind of app I can get behind. My father had his first heart attack when he was 43 years old. So I was 5 years old, 4 years old, something like that, when he had his first heart attack. And you'll notice I say first because he had lots of them over the years. And so I've been pretty passionate about trying not to get heart disease. It's one of the reasons I exercise like a maniac. So I was really glad Steve looked into this and was able to figure out exactly how to go through and get yourself into it if you didn't get invited, because I didn't get invited, but I am in it now. And I'd like to contribute my data to help stop what is actually the leading cause of death in women. A lot of people don't understand that is for women the leading cause of death. So I am all over the Apple Heart Study, and I will be doing my part for it too. Thanks a lot for doing that, Steve. That was awesome.
My pleasure.
Okay, I got to do Amazon now.
Yeah, by the way, Sandy has been in the Heart Study, I think, since just about when it was released. I think it came out in, was it December last year? At least that's the earliest reviews.
I feel like we fell asleep and didn't get in on it.
Yeah, well,
because a bunch of people have said, well, I've been in that.
So Rick signed up. When did you all? So Sandy, you've been in 6 months. In it. So it sounds like maybe December of last year. And those are the first reviews I could see on the iOS App Store. Is December.
So good to have a reminder about it in any case, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they sent me the invite now. It's probably they're wondering why I hadn't participated.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Yeah,
you work 6
months. Come on.
Well, and I never got one, so if you hadn't gotten it, I wouldn't have. So
yeah.
All right, muting you. You know, I don't spend too much time looking at the Amazon affiliate link earnings because, you know, it just sort of takes care of itself. Every once in a while, though, I have some fun perusing what you guys have bought. I cannot tell who bought what, but I can see what was purchased. I love seeing the nerdy stuff, you know, like Plantronics headsets, Wisecams, Dell monitors. That was a big one, whoever did that. Yay! Let's see, a Linksys router, and my favorite Rode mic, the Audio Technica ATR 2100. I gotta tell you, it's a dangerous game because I can click on those things and the links, and then I get sucked into Amazon and I want to buy that stuff. Someone bought this really cool light panel softbox for giant flashes for studio photography, and now I want one. I don't need one, but they look really cool. There was also a backdrop system for, so you can do like a green screen. And I've always wanted one of those too. I figure I could put a video of a beach in Hawaii going behind me during the live show. I bet Mimo Live could handle that. Totally. Well, anyway, this is all my way of saying thank you to everyone who clicks the Amazon affiliate links on products that I'm yapping about, which helps keep the show funded. Remember, anything you buy in the session after you click through from podfeet.com counts. Even carpet cleaners and coffee makers and electric kettles and batteries and pepper mills and rechargeable toothbrushes. Keep up the great work, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Somebody bought a $1,500 coffee maker.
On the Amazon, using your affiliate link? Wow.
Yes.
That is one heck of a coffee maker.
I told Pat Dengler about it. She said, I wouldn't pay $1,500 if it came with a barista.
Wow. It must drive him to work or something.
Yeah. I just like, holy cow.
Sandy's birthday, her 70th birthday is coming up next month.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
So you guys could all buy your presents for Sandy's birthday through the Amazon affiliate links. Is that what you're saying, Sandy? All right. Next, I'm going to go find Security Bits music. Security Bits was pretty short. It was only an hour and 15 minutes.
Really? Amazing.
Steve,
what?
An hour and 15 minutes.
That is a short one.
No, it isn't. That's really long. Okay. Security Bits. It's right there. And I'll go get Security Bits AIFF right there. I'll drag you up.
You did mention at the beginning of the show that we're going to be in the chat room for WWDC keynote.
Yes, I did.
All right.
Have you thought about monetizing your YouTube videos? Yeah, but nah, it's not what we are,
No.
Engineers cracking wise. Really appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Totally forgot the chapter marker.
Good job. Wingman comes through.
I'm telling you, it was really scary not having you guys here. I was like, oh, what if I could forget the chapter marks? It was hard.
I'm sure.
It is way easier having you guys here to help me. Not Steve, but Steve is just over there talking about pizza and stuff, 3 times I asked you the question about the music.
Chat room.
All right, let me see what I think that's going to be. I think it needs to go over this way a little bit over here. There. Okay. Remember, anything you buy in the session after you click through from podfeet.com counts. Even carpet cleaners and coffee makers and electric kettles and batteries and pepper mills and rechargeable toothbrushes. Keep up the great work, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Boost Shots. Hello, Bart. Happy June.
Happy June. Yes, it is. Actually, summer has arrived. We have had sweltering weather here, which has culminated in what it always does in Ireland. So it's kind of damp here. And so it gets kind of warm here. So 3 guesses what happens after 3 days of nice weather.
Humidity? Torrential
which
downpour?
leads to
All right. Let's see how long the show is. Hour 47. Holy cannoli.
Could be a record. Hey,
I think we broke 2 hours once.
So Frank asked, did you plug MacStock?
Yes.
At the beginning?
I did. I talked about how...
That was after Frank got here, probably. Thanks, Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. All right, here we go.
And until next time, stay patched and stay secure.
Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Don't forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions. You can do that by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm amazing on Twitter. Not really. I'm on Twitter at Podfeet. You should follow Steve, actually. He's really, really interesting on Twitter. He's SP Sheridan. Anyway, don't forget to come into the live chat room on Monday if you're not listening to this on Tuesday. Anyway, remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. We've got podfeet.com/Patreon, podfeet.com/Facebook, podfeet.com/Google+, podfeet.com/chat. That's how you get into the live chat room on Monday. or anytime. And podfeed.com/Amazon for those happy of Amazon affiliate links. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
And it's a wrap.
And did I make schedule? 5:59.
Wow. On the to the minute, just about.
Even with that long review by you, you know. I mean,
what you clipped.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Well, I finally got my own thing in. Last time I wanted to get George's in, so I didn't get my Vectornator in. Stick NosillaCastaways.
Do you need a chapter mark for the end here?
No.
Here's where you go to get the end of the show.
Yeah. I should do one. Show's over.
Show's in.
Yeah.
Okay, John's asking what is tomorrow. So it's
what
the
tomorrow?
WWDC keynote. No, so I thought these were normally on Tuesdays.
I thought they were on Tuesdays,
maybe,
yeah.
Maybe it's the
friendly
fall event that's on Tuesdays. So
maybe.
WWDC starts tomorrow. That's probably why it's Monday. And we're going to be in there for the keynote, which starts at 10 a.m. Pacific. We'll be in the chat room. No live show, but just, yes, right, Frank? There will be a live stream, which we'll all be watching. Well, anyone who chooses
there
to.
will be a live stream of WWDC. We are not live streaming it. Correct. There will be no video from us. We will just be doing what you guys are doing right now, chatting.
Right, just in the chat room. Just to kind of compare notes and talk about what our impressions of the keynote are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me listen to this really quick here.
Let me mute.
No, you don't need to mute. I just need to. And enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Okay, there we go. That is a wrap. It's only got 4 chapters. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are we releasing anything? How do you interpret that?
I don't know what that means.
We are not. Maybe that's a joke. East joke?
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, I think we're a wrap. It is 6:01. I'm going to finish. Oh, by the way, we forgot to say this up front. I am drinking a Ballast Point Fathom in a Ballast Point Fathom glass.
Which is the only European way to do it, even though it's an American.
Yeah. Looks like some of that guy is starting to wear off a little bit. He's been around for a while, but this is the old Fathom. This is actually was an IPA lager, but that's not what Fathom is now, correct?
Right. It is like a starter IPA. It's like a mild IPA. A little less in the hops, a little less.
It's not a big girl IPA. It's a baby girl.
Baby IPA.
All right. Well, I think we are a wrap. You ready to kill the live show, Steve?
I'm just about ready. If you are.
I don't remember how you do that now. Where do we hang up first?
I just hit this red button on Mimo Live.
All right.
Let me push the button. Bye-bye.